guys, my name's Mimi from Wildflower Pilates, and if you have been training hard and waking up with sore muscles, this little morning stretch routine is going to feel great. So let's get started. We're going to come onto all fours and just move through some shapes. So knees are underneath your hips, hands underneath your shoulders, and we're just rounding your back and arching. Nice big shapes, get the spine moving. So we're going to move through some of my favorite stretches to help the body feel better and move through the day a little bit nicer if you do have those sore muscles. So I like to have a little rock around in my happy cat, a little rock around in that sad cat, just opening up through the back, through the hips there, can feel quite nice. Just take some time to move, really stick your bum out, stick it back towards your heels. Nice, one more like that, really rounding, big rocks as you start to warm up into it. And last extension there, looking up. Stick your butt back, try and get your butt towards your heels. Nice. And then we'll bring your knees together for me. And you're just going to let both hips come over to one side. Look over towards your knees. Find that stretch through your hip there, through your glute, and then come back up and over to the other side. The more you bring your butt back towards your heels, the deeper that stretch is going to get through your glutes and your hips there. So just play around, same as before, little bounces can go a long way here, just to try and get that stretch through your hip as much as you can. Nice. So let's go one more each side. Little bounces, little rocks back towards your heels. And over the outside. Nice. And then we'll come back to the middle and just sit all the way back onto your heels. And then walk your hands forward a little bit. So I want you to try and stick your butt up towards the ceiling, but let your chest drop down towards the mat. So the more you kind of walk your hands forward, but keep your butt high. And we're working for the stretch underneath your armpits. So it's like through your arms there. And again, a little sway from side to side can feel really nice. Just open it all up. Big deep breaths. And then we'll walk both hands over to one side. Same thing, but now we're trying to open up through the side of your body a little bit more. So pushing your chest down towards the mat as much as you can, but kind of pressing through the side of your body that's the longest side. So away from your hands. You're trying to kind of push your chest that way. And then we'll walk your hands over to the other side. Same thing, sinking down. Push your shoulders, chest towards the opposite side of your mat to your hands to get that long line through the side of your body there. Open it all up. Nice. And then we'll come back to the middle. You're going to go elbows on the mat, hands together, and then same thing. So you're trying to pull your hands back towards your head. And now we're kind of getting that stretch through your triceps a little bit more. So through your arms, try and sink your chest down. Big deep breaths. And just kind of settling into it.
Every time you breathe out, maybe you can pull your hands back a little bit more, drop your chest down a little bit more. And then we'll come on out of there, pop your hands onto the mat, tuck your toes under, and we'll just come up into our pike shape and pedaling out your heels. So one heel pressing down to the mat, and then the other, finding that stretch through the back of your legs. So all the way from your hamstrings down through your calf muscles, through your Achilles. So really trying to make that connection of your heel and the mat, pushing through your hands to try and get that little bit deeper. Nice. Let's go one more each side. And then we'll come back down onto all fours. Right foot's going to step forward. And we're just going to lunge forward. Keep your left hand on the mat. Reach your right hand up to the ceiling. And then just see if you can sink down into that lunge a little bit more. And then that right hand can come to your right knee and just push that knee out to the side a little bit. So we're finding that stretch through that right glute, through your hamstring, through the outside of your leg. Nice. And just let your muscles kind of relax into it, right? Like when they're tense and sore. Sometimes it takes a little second, some big deep breaths to let them relax. And then we'll come back through the middle. See if you can straighten that right leg. Flip your toes back towards your face. You can either pull that foot or just let yourself sink over that leg. Finding a nice stretch all the way through the back of that leg. The more you pull your toes to your face, the deeper that stretch is going to get. So work within whatever you can tolerate this morning or whenever you're doing this video. Big deep breaths, and then we'll pull forward. You're going to see if you can bring that right foot over towards your left hand. Pop your hand onto it. That knee's going to come down to the mat. We're going pigeon stretch. So you're trying to slide your left foot away from you. Lift up to the ceiling. And then we're trying to fold over. So that right foot might come back towards you a little bit, but we're really working for the stretch through this right glute, through this hip area. So wherever you can find that for yourself, you can try and keep the foot high in line with the knee, but if it needs, that's really hard. So if it needs to slide back like mine is doing, that is totally fine. I can feel the stretch, it feels good, that's like where I need it to be. And again, you can rock around in the shape, like figure out where your body needs it. So a little rock from side to side, you might find where it feels like that's the tightest point. Nice big deep breaths. And then we'll just slowly come on out of there. Bring that leg back in underneath you. And then we'll step your left foot forward and just lunging forward. Right hand's going to stay to the mat. Left hand reaches up. Find that little twist. And then that left hand's coming down to that left knee and you're just pushing it out to the side. Finding that openness. It feels good through the inner leg, through the hip flexors of the right leg, which is the front of your hips.
Nice big deep breaths, finding where it feels good for you. And then we'll straighten that left leg. Toes are going to flip up towards the ceiling, pulling them back towards your head. You might like to pull them with your hand or just let sink over the leg. Whatever's feeling good in your body. And just notice what you notice. One side might be feeling a bit tighter than the other side. Ask yourself maybe why. Sometimes there's no reason why, but sometimes one side might be working a little bit harder than the other. I mean, we're all more flexible in one side than the other. I certainly am. But just being aware of how your body's moving and how it's feeling can make a huge difference in the way you train and operate. And then finding these time to do these stretches so that you can balance it all back out. We're lunging forward again. This time we're going to bring that left foot over to your right hand, drop the knee, slide your right leg back, and then maybe that left foot comes back towards you a little bit more, looking up, and then just folding forward over that leg, finding that stretch through your hips. Nice big deep breaths, little rocks from side to side. Feels good for me when I'm rocking my hips forward and over to my right hand side on this side. It just feels like it opens up my left hip that little bit more. Might feel different for you. Play around with where your hips are, where your body weight's coming from, going to, and then wherever it feels like it's the most stretchiness, I want you to stay there. Don't know if stretchiness is the right word, but you know what I mean. Awesome. And then we'll just come back out of there. Bring your hands back to the mat. Bring your knees back in underneath you. And then we're just going to sit down on your bottom and bring your feet together for me, holding them up towards your toes and just letting your knees kind of butterfly out to the sides. We're going to take a big deep breath in, look up to the ceiling, and then see if you can fold forward, trying to push your knees down to the mat and pull your toes up towards your nose. So I'm pulling my toes so that my legs can go deeper into the stretch. Big deep breath there. Maybe you can fold forward a little bit more. And then let's come out of there. Legs are going to go wide like a pancake. Arms are going to come out wide. You're going to pull your right hand to the left side. Left hand's going to come up and over. Maybe you can touch your foot. And I want you to try and lift that left elbow up towards the ceiling. I'm trying to stretch all the way through that left hand side there. See if you can keep your toes pointing up towards the ceiling. Keep trying to lift that left elbow up towards the ceiling. One more big deep breath there, and then we'll come up and over to the other side. So slide that left hand in underneath, right hand's reaching over. If you can grab your toes, you can. If not, just hover that right hand in space and try and lift that right elbow up towards the ceiling. So the more you lift, the more stretch you're going to get through that side of the body there. Awesome. And then we'll come up through the middle. We're going to slide our hands forward as much as you can. I want you to try and keep your feet up towards the ceiling as much as you can. We're working for a stretch through your inner legs. So sliding forward, maybe you can try and make a pancake. Try to keep flexing the feet up towards the ceiling.
And every time you breathe out, I want you to slide your hands a little bit further forward. Big deep breaths. Every time you breathe out, fold forward that tiny bit more. One more big deep breath. See if you can go a tiny bit further. Maybe those legs can come out a little bit wider. And then we'll sit all the way up for me. Left leg's going to pull in, so it's bent. Right leg's going to step over. You're going to pull this right knee in towards your chest, lift up towards the ceiling, and then right hand's coming behind you. We're finding a twist. I want you to try and push your right butt cheek down towards the mat and look over that right shoulder a little bit more. So we're working for a stretch all the way through that right glute. The more you lift up, the more you twist, the deeper that stretch is going to get. We're going to hold for another 3 breaths. Awesome. And then come back to the middle. Let's swap it over. So right knee's bending, left leg's coming over the top. You're going to hug that knee into your chest. We're lifting up. Big breath in. As you breathe out, we're going to twist. See if you can sink your left butt cheek down towards the mat. Look over that left shoulder. Big deep breaths. Try and hug that knee in as much as you can. Awesome. One more big deep breath. See if you can twist around a little bit more. Try and squish that butt cheek down into the mat a little bit more. And then let's come on out of there and roll back around onto all fours for me. We're going to tuck the toes under, come through that pike shape and just walk your hands all the way to your feet. I want you to give yourself a big cuddle down there. So try and pull your chest towards your thighs. And then just slowly roll all the way up, trying to pull your shoulder blades away from each other. Nice. Roll those shoulders back. And let's go legs nice and wide for me. Toes are going to turn out, arms are going to go wide. We're going to side bend over. One big deep breath in. And we're going to fold over that leg. Left hand is grabbing, I'm on my right hand side, so right leg, right hand's going to reach up, find a big twist. And then we'll come back over that leg, roll all the way back up. Arms are going to come wide again. Slide your left hand down your left leg, big breath in, big breath out as you slide down a little bit more. And then fold over that leg, grab it with your right hand, reach your left hand all the way up, finding that stretch. And then we'll come back to the middle and just bend through one knee, slide the other leg away, find that stretch through the inner leg on this left hand slide, come back up through the middle. Bend through that left leg, slide that right leg away. Come back up through the middle. One more each side. Toes point up to the ceiling. You can kind of lean your body towards that leg. Feels good. And then come up, over to the other side. Lean your body in. Find that stretch through the inner leg. And then we'll come back up through the middle and just roll all the way up to standing. Reach your arms up, maybe a little rock from side to side with your hips, and then you can shake it out. Nice work. Hopefully those sore muscles are feeling a little bit more stretched now. Let me know how you go in the comments, and please like and subscribe if you haven't already, so I can keep delivering you videos to keep you doing the things you love forever. Thank you. I'll see you next time.